I feel like I've been so strong-minded, and sometimes I blame that on, being single for so long, not really having to compromise or share anything. So now I'm agreeing for a prenup.
Yep. How you feeling? How you feel about that? Shaeeda agrees to sign the prenup. And the S word seems to have played a huge part in that decision.
I want to have a relationship where I know when to submit to you and be submissive rather than like everything you say, I don't have to fire back.
And before some of y'all jump through the screen, don't worry. She's not the only one compromising. And yes, we're gonna talk about the S word.
It's either yes or no.
That you want to have a child before you turn 40.
I would like to see it in writing as well.
It's going to be interesting to see if some of your minds change about Bilal after this episode.
Probably not.
We'll see. Let's get into it. Hey 90 Day Fans fam, it's Melicia. I hope you're doing well. A few quick updates before we hop into Shaeeda's big decision.
Kara and Guillemro got married.
¡Estamos casados!
Yep, they've been having their ups and downs,
She likes to control me a lot, go out and drink.
but they made it. And they're so in love. Congrats.
Call me your wife.
That's my wife. She liked the thing. She liked the movie.
No, I'm just excited.
Oh, you're
In
excited?
every way.
Oh my God, so see you.
I know I don't talk about them that much, but they are officially the first couple to say I do this season. You don't have to care, but at least now you know. Also,
You're so sweet. Wow.
Would you marry me, girl?
Mohammed proposes to Eve, which I'm confused about. Because aren't they engaged already? Isn't that how you get the K-1 visa? They've literally been planning a wedding. But anyway, the proposal comes after Mohammed has tried to convert Eve into a Muslim woman, complained about the way she dresses, and even threatened to get someone else to sponsor him.
You saying this to me is like making me feel like you think that I'm just replaceable. Do you like love me and like?
Look,
if you
I
love
have
me, you
dreams.
understand.
I have
I
dreams
know
and
that.
goals, and if I'm not
I
going
have
to be
dreams too to
allowed
have a
here,
nice wedding.
that's your dream. I have another dreams. If I'm not allowed to work in this country, I will
Okay, so it's
go
all
back
about
to
you.
Egypt.
But after speaking with his mom, who was back in Egypt, y'all know Mohammed is a mama's boy, he has done a complete 180. His mom takes Eve's side and tells him he needs to accept her for who she is and adjust to how we do things in America.
بس انت ما تتحكمش قوي وبلاش نظام النظام النكد يعني.
I am amazed about what my mom said. She's completely in Eve's side, and I didn't expect that.
And goodness, the effect his mom has on him is powerful. I haven't seen Mohammed act romantic toward Eve this entire season. So throughout most of these scenes right here, I was rolling my eyes. It's like, come on, y'all. Just give it up. Mohammed, you can try to change. Good luck. And Eve, you can hope he changes. Good luck. Although she said yes for a second time, you can tell that she's doubtful that he's truly going to accept her for who she is.
Maybe Mohammed is trying to be a little more understanding, but it's hard because I still feel very guarded.
Why do we hold on to things that bring us more stress than peace? Why do we do this to ourselves?
We are like days away from the wedding, and right now we are at odds.
All right, moving on. Let's get into the biggest must-see moment this episode between Shaeeda and Bilal. At this point, these two only have 10 days left to get married, and Shaeeda still doesn't feel right signing the prenup, especially without adding the new condition she brought up in last week's episode.
Having children at a certain time, as well as assisting me to start my business in KC.
So, in search for some advice on how to move forward, Shaeeda invites Bilal's mom over. And it's cool to see the bond she and Shaeeda share. It seems to be genuine. Plus, Bilal's mom was married to his dad before he passed away for a very long time. So the wisdom she's about to share is from experience.
I know there's no such thing as a perfect marriage, but you guys have spent so much time together.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I want to be married for a very long time.
Well, I think you're on the right path when you realize that marriage is not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's two imperfect human beings holding on to each other and not letting go.
I felt that.
That type of relationship, I know, is something that doesn't come overnight.
Shaeeda goes on to tell Bilal's mom that she hears her, but at the same time, she thinks Bilal is too business-oriented when it comes to their marriage.
You're feeling that a prenup is saying, you don't trust me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here comes another gem.
Ears up.
When it comes to trust, what does trust really mean? It means different things to different people. Some people will say, I will trust you until you show me that I can't trust you.
Okay.
Some people will say, you have to show me before I can trust you. Neither way is right or wrong, it's just how that person feels.
Bilal's mom goes on to share that it took him a long time to open up his heart again because he's been hurt before.
He has opened up his heart to let you in, and by that, some of the fears of leaving. So these are triggers.
Yeah. One thing I've learned personally in my life is that romantic love has the power to bring out the best in you, but it also has the power to bring out the worst in you. If you have things that you still need to work on, heal, which most of us do, love will trigger them. But that's why I think it's important to not only be honest with yourself and address what you need to work on, but if you're going to be in a relationship, it's important to have a partner who is aware of your past experiences and does their best to try to understand how those experiences affected you so they can love you better and assist you in letting those fears go.
Allah has put the male as the head of the family.
Okay, the submission talk is about to start coming into play. I know this can be a controversial topic and it can get divisive, but let's all try to keep an open mind here, okay? Everyone has the right to choose how they want to operate in a relationship. All right.
Allah has put the male as the head of the family. And he leads and we follow. But there's ways that we can lead from behind. But you always leave him with his manhood. The male is sometimes maybe not as tactful.
Oof, you can say that again. Don't get salty, men. We love y'all.
The male is sometimes maybe not as tactful, but when you are in that leadership position, it's not a dictator. So I have tried to teach all of my sons to be strong, but yet tender. But the back and forth, going back and forth, if it gets to that, you know, there's no winners. We have to learn that being right is not the most important thing. And will it matter 5 years from now?
Yeah, that prenup will, but I get the overall point she's trying to make. Bilal's mom goes on to say that all her son wants is peace and comfort, and she tells Shaeeda,
if you know you have a good man, figure out how to make it work and bring in the peace.
This is when Shaeeda starts to get emotional because she feels as if she's been approaching this prenup conversation all wrong.
When it comes to, like, trying to be right, some things I need to let go.
Not always having to be right is something Bilal should consider working on too. It's also something I have to remind myself from time to time. And let me just say this. I admire Shaeeda for not neglecting her needs for the sake of what Bilal wants. I don't think she should be hard on herself about the choices she's made so far.
It just shows how much you really care. And it's okay. I know he thinks the world of you. I know that. He's told me that many times. But to a certain extent, he's still guarded. But I don't feel that he is as guarded as he was 2 years ago. And each day, your love will grow. His love will grow.
Wow. Talk about getting practical when it comes to relationships. This is real talk. And I know a lot of us have opinions about Bilal, but what continues to pop up in my head is that Shaeeda is a grown, intelligent woman who is choosing to be with him. She has made the choice, and with that choice comes accepting him for where he is right now.
Bilal's mom is explaining to me that her son was hurt badly and it took him a while to open back up his heart to others.
Shaeeda says she's realizing that she and Bilal have not been having the conversations they should have been having. Instead, they've been bickering and fighting. I don't know what it is about this episode, but the moms are coming through. They are teaching compromise.
I feel as if the possibility of his heart closing in is like huge right now. And it would absolutely pain me to know that I am the demise of my relationship, and I don't want to be the demise of my relationship.
She's such a good woman. And the way she and Bilal's mom end the conversation is so sweet. Shoot, can I get some advice from Bilal's mom? I'm not even in Shaeeda's position, but I felt comforted.
You hit the nail to everything. You hit the nail like...
What else you got? All is well. All is good.
Thank you so much. I think this conversation was...
Yeah, I love you.
Me too.
All right, let's move on to when she finally tells Bilal her decision.
Started cooking late because your mom was here and I was entertaining her.
Oh, how did that go?
I don't know, I got all emotional and teary, and your mom probably wonder what is happening with her.
Shaeeda tells him that his mom spoke to her soul and said exactly what she needed to hear. She then brings up submission and says she wants to have a relationship where she knows when to let him lead and submit.
Like everything you say, I don't have to fire back. And I think it's vice versa. Everything I say, you don't have to fire back. I feel like I've been so strong-minded, and sometimes I blame that on, being single for so long, not really having to compromise or share anything. So now I'm agreeing for a prenup. Because I feel like we have been back and forth, and this has caused so much friction in our relationship. So I'm willing to submit. I think before I was feeling, figuratively speaking, I was feeling so naked. Like, I needed something, the word I'm used trying to look for is security.
Before I share my brief thoughts on submission, and yes, I said brief because, I am not about to set myself up. Like I said, this can be a very controversial topic. And while y'all know, I'm not someone to shy away from hard conversations, I just honestly don't think this is a platform to go that deep into it. But before I give my take, Bilal shares his thoughts on Shaeeda wanting to submit to him.
What did he say, Lisa? What did he say?
Thinking about what I look for in a potential spouse.
I really necessarily wouldn't say like submit, because, we submit to God. But I would say just, it was just refreshing that she came to a point that said, I'm willing to be open. I think that's how you have a beautiful marriage, be able to listen and communicate effectively.
Smart answer, Bilal. Okay, when it comes to me and my house, I'm not even married yet, but when it comes to this, here's where I am right now. And this is just my opinion. I'm not saying everyone has to think this way.
This is her being vulnerable.
Based on my life experience so far, at this point, the word submission doesn't scare me. But I think there are certain levels to it. The level that I'm comfortable with, because I do see myself as an alpha woman, is allowing my man to lead when it comes to certain family and household decisions. But let's be clear, no one is the leader of me as an individual. At the end of the day, I'm always going to trust my gut. And also, as my husband, you only gain my submission when you prove to me that your decisions are trustworthy and a win-win for both of us. I'll be darned if I'm out here following someone who doesn't know what the heck they're doing. But let me reiterate this again, because sometimes you have to do that for the internet. This is my opinion. And I think everyone should go about relationships in a way that serves them best. It's not a one-size-fits-all. All right, back to their conversation. Bilal's reacting to Shaeeda saying she's going to sign the prenup, but she was hesitant because she didn't feel secure.
I 100% see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to do is just also let you see where I'm coming from. And by no means, it's not a way to say, you know, like, I won't take care of you. No, like, I mean, I'm proving that. I continue to do that, you know? It's just a way to say, you know what? Can I protect myself as well, to protect what I do have? I'm all about whatever you want to do for the yoga stuff.
Speaking of the yoga stuff, Bilal agrees to put in the prenup that he will invest in her business and allow her to fully own it.
To get your business booming here in the States, we don't even have to have that in a prenup. We can put it in there for sure.
It seems like I'm taking the advice Bilal's mother gave me when she was like, you know, sometimes you'll allow the man to lead and you lead from behind. Just by me saying I will sign no matter what and not demanding what I want to put in a prenup, Bilal offered to put it in anyway. And in my mind, I look at it as, you know, him being the head and I'm the neck.
Shaeeda is so happy. She also brings up putting in the prenup that they will try to have a child before she turns 40. For context, she's 37.
It's either yes or no.
That you want to have a child before you turn 40.
Yeah. But it's just like we are on the same page when it comes to having children. And I would like to see it in writing as well, if that's okay.
I can agree to that.
Yeah.
Look at Shaeeda. She's like, yeah, let's go make a baby now. I'm just kidding.
I don't think right now, at this very moment, would be the best decision to have a child. I just have concerns of having children too early, because with her coming to the country and so much other different things, I feel like it can be too much on us. But I'm willing to do whatever it takes to not lose her.
So, for those of you who are not a fan of Bilal, what are your thoughts after this? Do you see him in a new light or nah?
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to not lose her.
Oh, side note, you know one thing I can't wait for? Their wedding. One thing I think most of us can agree on is how beautiful of a couple they are. They are going to look good. Look at Shaeeda. She is stunning with this pink lip and pink hijab. And Bilal is looking like... Ooh, it is nothing like a chocolate man in a suit. And speaking of the wedding, next week, it looks like Shaeeda is going to see her wedding dress for the first time.
Shaeeda, your wedding dress is ready. Come on up.
I finally get to see the wedding dress that Bilal's sister made for me.
What do you think?
This is not the style that I sent you. An old lady dress, a hideous dress. This is atrocious.
Sometimes the customer don't really know what they want.
I'm thinking this is another prank. I hope so, at least. All right, 90 Day Fans fam. Thank you for taking a ride with me through such a complex topic today. Make sure you stick with ET because we are covering it all. I will see you next time.